welcome to the Red Room.
Hello.
Well, we are looking a bit sad, well, for two reasons. First, it's really hot in here.
Yes.
And second, we are going to talk about the news of Venture retirement.
Yes. Well, not entirely retired because
Yes.
I think he's going to keep on working, whatever he does.
That's why it's
But yeah, I wouldn't mind that. I don't care what he does in this.
retiring from the TTRPG industry.
So
But it's
that
mostly
was
the hot.
that
the
was
heat.
yeah, it is. That was announced yesterday in his blog. That for reasons that I understand.
That's also one of the reasons.
Financial, I guess, not just that, but probably you must have
Pass me the water, please. Sorry.
time reasons as well. Probably doing lots of work when you have a job.
And you need to have some economical turn back from your investment,
and
time investment.
And in this case, probably so the numbers he gave about the
200
about the sales, the 100 and something from lowering from 800 or 1,000 in previous years. Well, I guess that would be our sales as well if we didn't have releases every month. So right now we are still on the upper side of that scale. Really, we do between 800 and 1,000. But if the releases weren't monthly or more than monthly, we would probably go down very quickly.
It's like Venture, this is your main income, so you have more time for it, but at the same time,
yes, I'm
it would be a little bit more.
I'm working full time, and he wasn't, obviously. That's why he had less releases, obviously, just occasionally, and that was I'm sure that wasn't one of the reasons that things obviously as he has a job, so he couldn't release as many products. Not necessarily as many as us, but even as many as other small publishers. Because other publishers that do this full time, not many, but a few are doing it full time. It's bad news, of course. Bad news for everybody in the hobby. Well, not everybody.
Well, even people that hate Venture should consider this as a bad news, because there's also another side of this. It's the economy, so eventually it can also go.
It can also
affect them if people have less money to spend.
I guess it depends on the people that hate Venture. The woke, I don't think they are worried about that because their sales are usually guaranteed by virtue signaling. But there are also some people that aren't woke and don't like him, so those probably should be worried. Still worried because it's a problem that will affect other people as well. Well, we've noticed as well some I don't know, you are the accountant, but the numbers have been.
I mean, they've not been completely, and I have to call Miguel because he gets very panicky about the numbers. I'm exaggerating, but he gets very negative.
I'm a pessimist.
The pattern, it's still we are still growing comparatively to last year. Not much, but we are still growing a bit. But what we saw that in the beginning of the year, we actually had 2 or 3 months that were really good. And then they came down. So now it's a bit more stable.
That drop was a bit
worrying. So I think we need to decide. We need to look at tendencies full time and not months over months.
Yeah, well, I'm not. Numbers are not my thing, so that's why you are doing the accounting.
Well, but another thing that Venture said on is first that the books are still available. That is Schalt, and I'm not sure about the other books because I'm not sure if the other Kickstarters they also had.
Yes, I think so. And then there's other stuff.
And there is the Kickstarter exactly that he's doing.
Yeah, that one is still finishing. He said that was going to finish all the projects that were still not done, and that the stuff would be still on sale, of course, but there's no reason for it to.
Yes, I mean, the amazement.
Yes. And yeah, but the PDFs also,
Yes,
not
exactly.
not just the thing, but the PDFs. There's no reason for him to retire the PDFs. If he sells something, that's just some more profit. But the problem here is that obviously, if he retires now, I don't know. Maybe he can come back, but if he comes back, you'll have to start again doing advertising and all that.
Maybe not, it depends. But I was going what I wanted to go to with this was that the thing that he mentioned was the shadow darkening of
Oh,
the hobby.
No one will admit that.
Yes, but it's a bit well, it's not just shadow dark itself, it's more
No,
is
I think he was using the term shadow dark because shadow dark is the new cool thing.
yeah, in shadow dark is in shadow dark.
But we have so he said we talked about other stuff. So Morkborg, Mothership, OSE, and there are some other stuff.
So those games that come in, they do tons of money. And of course, I'm not
just the game, because then the game is a success and everybody wants to buy it and everybody wants to do something for that. So other people produce right now it's for Shadow Dark. Everybody has a Shadow Dark source book, adventure, whatever, something. Just like everybody had a Morkborg book some time ago, and there are still source books and adventures being made for that and for Powered by the Apocalypse. That's a different thing. That's not OSR, of course. That's entirely different market, but obviously. Yes, but regardless of, and because I know we don't like Shadow Dark, we said it, but people will go, oh, it's a good game. I don't care. We don't care, and there's a reason, and we can explain that as well. Why we don't care. So Shadow Dark I don't care what people will do. Everything for Shadow Dark right now, probably science fiction and all that. But Shadow Dark was made for playing dungeons. I have no interest at all in playing dungeons. I never played old D&D. We just went for OSR because we talked to lots of people from the OSR, and we like the vibe. And we like the vibe and the spirit and the creativity, but not the old stuff. Just okay, we can use the rules for BX or BackMe. Those are nice. That's what I played. But that's why. But I never played dungeons. Shadow Dark is not. But so that is our. But for someone that is making ventured into doing this for a long time. So I'm not even talking about us. I'm talking about the people that have been here longer. And suddenly this new game and this new author comes and it makes a lot of money, and it's just in hype. It keeps happening. And it's not just about the quality of the game, it's a bit of the publicity or whatever, how the hype is generated. I can understand it also is frustrating. Yeah. Because even for us, if we talk, here comes this Kickstarter. Oh, look. Yeah, even for me, it's frustrating, even though that's not the competitor for us, that we have nothing to do with that. But you feel like, yeah. Third of that in 1/10 of that. Yes. I will never sell 1/100th maybe of that. So it's frustrating. And not just that one. We could mention something else. We could mention even Powered by the Apocalypse, which probably that one that you liked, like yes, exactly. So because the hype, because of the hype in the case of Powered by the Apocalypse, it ruined lots of games. Not just cult, lots of and it basically ruined horror because everybody decided that Powered by the Apocalypse was a game to do horror games, and it actually isn't. It's the worst game. The worst system to do horror games. It doesn't work. It's rubbish. I believe a horror game would probably work better with Shadow Dark rules. I don't know. Certainly, it doesn't work with Powered by the Apocalypse rules. So, yeah, hype fucks things up always. And so that's another bad thing. You have to live with the fact that yes, we decided to do something with no hype. Yeah, and that's just us. I could never do that the hype, because I'm a boring person. I can't pretend that I'm enthusiastic about stuff. I'm not. This is it. It's a game. I like it, of course. It's our game. It's wretched, but I cannot hype. People say, "Oh, but it's not what people want." Yes, I know, but this is what I want to do. Yeah. There should be people wanting, but again, it's a question of hype and marketing. and that's the same thing with the Morkboard probably. Why did people go into the hype for Morkboard? I don't know. I have no idea.
Awful.
I think that in the Shadowlark I understand better because it's supposed to be closer to old D&D, including
something like that.
Yeah, well, probably it's all rubbish, but okay. So it's supposed to be closer to the old style, including visually. But Morkborg was none of that. So Morkborg was a artsy design game with no content, with minimalistic rules.
Do you want to talk about Mothership? Little
Oh
bit?
yes,
And
we can talk about that. Yeah,
Lost
so
Mothership.
and we can do. We are not immune, or at least I am not immune. It's not our case. I am not immune to hype. I was fooled by and then that's why I'm now very critical and very careful about hype. When something is hyped up, I always have a
inverse reaction.
Yeah, and one of the reasons I usually have that for movies, so but also now for role-playing games. But I was fooled by the Mothership hype. The looks of the thing when it came, it wasn't really the game. It was still a preview or something. The looks of the thing looked alien-esque, and it looked like it could be an interesting horror game, and I purchased it. Besides the awful customer service, it took about 1 month, and then I got an email from that silly company that is extremely woke, Exalted Funeral. They were doing the print, saying, "Oh, we're sorry, but we were on holidays, and now we are sending this now." And I had to pay for customs taxes because it came from the US. And then I looked at it. It was 2 or 3 books. Oh, I mean, not books. I thought I had because I'm dumb. I didn't look at it closely enough. I didn't notice that they were booklets, not books. And then I looked at it and it was just small booklets, and I threw it in the trash. Basically, I browsed it, and it looked awful. The art was awful. The cover is not bad, but the inside art is rubbish. And it was just a bunch of tables and not that many tables, and didn't even look like nice tables. They looked like boring tables, just large tables, but not nothing besides that. Just no setting, basically no rules, just tables, and then one of those booklets was an adventure, but yeah, no, not for me. So hype, no. You can't hype me. You can't hype me up. No, it's impossible. Okay, so let's go back to the subject.
Let's go back to Venture. I think Salt deserves a little bit of hype in a fairer world.
Yeah, well, I guess Venture can do hype. But the problem is people hate him. I guess he's not bad with marketing. I think he created his brand, but he has many haters, and probably that has and maybe as well perhaps the fact that he did Alpha Blue may have some other issues, because it's supposed to be almost erotic or something like that. So even some of the conservatives are probably dislike him. I don't know, or at least the games, because they are imagining that it's much worse than it really is. It's not. No, it's not. It's not really. It's not porn, nothing like that. It's lewd, and sometimes it's. But in a not in an offensive way. It wouldn't offend me anyway. But yeah, it's just fun, basically. It looks a lot like. It looks a lot like our not our games, but our the movies that we used as inspiration.
That's what I was thinking. Yes,
our sources of inspiration are the same. So bad fantasy movies, bad science fiction movies
from the 70s,
bad horror movies from the 70s and 80s, and all of those, and most of them were Italian or European productions. So they have a little bit of sexiness, much more than American movies, of course. And so that's reflected by his games. Of course, his stuff is more humorous, even more than the movies. And that's something I like to look at and to read, not as much to play or to run, because I don't know.
You
I don't think
control
yeah,
things. It became too silly.
Yeah, I think it's when it's too silly, I'm not really. Yeah, it ends up with the. Of course, I'm sure you can game master that, and other people can, but I can also, but as a one shot, probably not as a prolonged campaign. I would probably lose the plot in there. So that's why we never ran Child. We ran other things. But
well,
not
I was
Child.
supposed to run Child.
Yeah, you can still do it. But
no, apparently nobody wants me to be a game master. I suck.
No, the problem with that is there's little time for playing other.
I know.
Even for our things.
Even our things are not allowed to game master.
But that's not my fault. You should game master next. Anyway, we have lots of stuff that we haven't game mastered, so no, I don't think Child will be. There will be a time slot for that. Maybe if someone else decides to show up and say, "I'll game master Child."
But the VentureCon is still on, so now it's
yeah. Well, that's good.
If we are going to go to the VentureCon in the coming years,
we could still do that. I mean, there's a reason for. You can still do the con, of course, even if it doesn't do any boosts. Just people go there to play games and not necessarily Child. So that's still good. But it's bad news because Cortalis, no, it's not Vengeance that is going away. It's Cortalis, the publishing, the publisher that is him, of course. And that will mean less inappropriate games and less inappropriate characters as well, because I believe that is the main reason, if not the only reason, that the inappropriate characters is also going to end, because Venger is going to use his time for other stuff, I guess. Watch movies probably. And I don't know. We have something else to talk about. Well, not about Venger at least.
We can say that next week, Ratchet Justice is coming out, right?
Very likely, yes. And still, you can use August 35 at our store to get a discount. And
until the end of August, obviously.
The discount is 35% until the end of August. Yes. And every purchase of Ratchet New Flash books will the proceedings will go to a animal shelter
in England, which I'm now Red something.
Yeah, I don't remember. Red something. We mentioned that before. Yeah, who was going to do? I think it was a plan. We didn't talk about it for months, but it was a plan that he was going to do something for Ratchet New Flash, and he had been supportive about New Flash since the beginning, since I did.
And there were some similarities.
Actually, it was New Flash. It was the postcards from Natalia.
From Sanctions.
Yeah, Sanctions. Yes. One of the things I tried to convince him was to do a Sanctions version for New Flash, but I don't think he wanted to do that because he didn't really like the D20 rules. He liked 2D6, and Sanctions the game still exists. Sanctions is still is a 2D6 game. There was another thing that maybe if we can still find.
I think no, because
Joe
said that they didn't know the password of this computer.
Oh, okay, so probably not. Well, he was going to do an adaptation for New Flash for a 2D6 game. Maybe it can still happen one day, but probably not. Okay, so remember the promo, August 35% at our store, and probably we'll have more news next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.